Today I'm going to make or work on making a Daikon radish flute. You might want to ask why I'm using a Daikon radish and not a carrot, because I have made several other carrot flute videos. But here I'll give you the summary of what I think I may have learned so far, or the impressions I have about making vegetable instruments so far. Seems to me that the harder the vegetable, the better your chance of getting a decent sound out of it. So, for instance, I used some carrots, larger carrots and smaller carrots, and I didn't know whether there would be a difference. I tried with the larger. Hi! Oh, here my little people have arrived with bananas in hand for the makey. Woo! All right, but you get to watch me work on a Daikon radish flute. Daikon radish, it's a type of vegetable. We can cut a piece off and eat it. But I'm talking to the people who might be watching my video, and I'm telling them what I learned. Do you want to grab a chair? As I was explaining, I've made a few carrot flutes before with varying success, and I'm trying to work my way through figuring out how on earth do you really get this thing to work? Because I see all these videos where people make vegetable instruments, and I think, man, I want to make one of those. But I have to tell you, I have some experience with some videos where they were not quite accurate, honest. As in the hovershoes video. I'll give you the reference at the end, but there's like millions and millions and millions of hits on a video where a kid made hovershoes. What happened really? Camera angle. Okay. I will turn the camera off and on, but you're going to see exactly what I experienced here. So, the history with the carrot flutes is this. Seems to me, I thought, is there a difference between the carrot size, carrot diameter? And I did see one where they talked about the carrot diameter, and one video, and the wider the diameter, the better. So I stopped off to pick up carrots at the store today, and the carrots were all of a smaller diameter. So I thought, oh, well, what else is there? Daikon radish. This is a pretty good sized Daikon radish, and so I thought this will be good. Now the other question is, does the size of the whole board make a difference? And I've decided that this is a pretty decent size to me, a 1/2 inch drill bit, and so that's the size that I use. Then you have to ask, is the depth of the hole making a difference? And I did an experiment with that, and it seemed to me that the pitch of the sound went up as the depth increased, but it was so vague as to, require additional testing. Then the design of the flute. I've been basically boring a hole in the side here. One of the readers suggested that I take a look at, viewers suggested that I take a look at the way flutes are actually designed, and that I was possibly making a whistle. And yeah, it makes sense. What I was doing was making a whistle. I was just happy to get a sound out of it. So now today I'm going to work on making a flute design where we're actually with our friends, and you get to try to blow it. We'll have to make sure we have enough room to cut off the end so that you can blow into it too. But first I get to try it. And then we're going to change the design a little bit. We're not just boring a hole and putting another hole next to it. We're going to make it look a little more flute-like. We are not going to take the hole all the way through, because someone I saw said, yeah, his had the hole all the way through, and it actually did make a decent sound, but he said it was much better before he drilled it all the way through. So we're not going to do that. So we've learned a few lessons, and we're going to be learning more. That's what we do here. Okay, got my drill, got my knife, got my scissors, a couple of drill bits, and a file, because we're going to change the shape of the hole that comes out here, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, got the end cut off of my Daikon radish. Okay, so the hole I drilled is about this deep so far. That is a very small hole. We want to start small and then work our way deeper. Now we're going to start deviating from my original design, if you call it that, where I would drill a hole here and then just blow. We're going to cut a little square. It's going to be notched at this angle with a sharper angle down here. And then we're going to figure out a way to get a hole to go from here all the way through there. That's what we're working on. I'm taking an intermediate video clip just to show you. I'm basically doing it a little bit at a time using this knife. Just angling it a little bit more until I get through to the hole. We've reached the center, the core, the middle of the Daikon, where we've made the hole. Now we're going to put a narrow hole from here that reaches out through here. Now I've made this stem large enough so that I can blow into it, and then at some point I'll cut that off and then the kiddos can have some fun with it. Okay, so the hole is actually pretty clear. You can see that's my finger, so you can see that there's nothing obstructing it. And then we've got a hole here. Now I'm going to try blowing in it, but we're intending to add additional holes down the side. So here I go. Okay, that's not very promising, but let's add some holes down the side. Okay, I'm working on this hole, and it looks like my hole for the thing doesn't seem to be very deep. So let's see exactly how deep we think this hole is. Find something. Measure this with. Okay. We're not even going as far as the hole I'm making, so I need to make the hole for the bore bigger. So there. Now we know that this hole is this deep, and it goes at least as far as that. Can you see that right there? So it's at least as deep as the hole. We're doing it incrementally because we want to check the comparative sound. Well, call me a fool. Because it sure looks dumb, huh? Oh, you're laughing at me. Oh, you guys laughing at me? Making holes in radishes and trying to blow music out of it. All right, we'll keep on trying. I'm convinced that we can do this, and I just want to make this happen. Maybe not today, but someday. Okay, try again. Do you hear anything?
Did you need another one holes?
Okay, we're going to try to make another hole. Okay, I made the hole in the radish a little deeper. So here's where we are now. And there's how deep it is. Because we thought maybe the depth of the hole made a difference. kind of losing the interest of my charges there. But so now we are going to try adding a hole. But first I'm going to spend some time trying to make sounds out of what we have here. Because I think if you can't make a sound out of one, can you do it with two? Okay, so pretty much my design is the way that I think it should be based on the information I've been given. Angle cut here, hole here. We're going to add another hole. Not sure this is going to work. Okay. The more I think about it, the more I must ask. Are carrot flutes like hovershoes? Do they really exist? How do we make this work? How do we make this work? Okay, now I'm remembering, I think that the video also called for a hole in the back. I'm not sure how or why. Let's add one. Okay, so now we have a hole in the back, two in the front, and one, I don't know what the purpose is. We also have a hole down this way. Our flute is as designed as it should be. So let's reach on in and try to play. Now, if you've gotten this far in the video, you know that attempts have not yet been successful on this particular design, but it doesn't mean that it's the flute could be me. Okay, so I would call this particular experiment unsuccessful, this particular design not viable, but you know, you never know. It could be the execution, it could be the radish, it could be a whole bunch of stuff. I'll have to keep on trying. Do you want to try blowing the flute? No? Doesn't make any sound? Don't care? Now we're going to adapt it to the original carrot flute design, see if we can still get a sound out of it. So I'm going to cut from here off, and then we're going to drill deeper. We're trying to decide if this cut off edge is actually making a fluty sound. Am I just trying too hard? How about if I blow into it? Oh, I know, they were blowing into it here. Does that make anything? You know, I should have done that. Blown from this side. Forgot about that. This doesn't do anything, but there are no other holes. Okay. What to do now? Okay, so now we're going to eat our flute. Yay! How's that flute taste, Mama? Great! Yeah!